Okay, hello class. Welcome back to our 10th grade health class. The last 2 weeks we talked about the muscular system, but we're going to go a little bit in depth today about how to create a training program, specifically weight training. So now that we know like what's happening in our body when we move, we're going to kind of integrate that into how we can move. So some health goals and objectives. I will keep my body systems healthy, and every student will be able to create their own weight training program. So a little bit of review. We've talked about voluntary and involuntary muscles. So voluntary would be a muscle that functions with our control. So for example, your bicep, tricep, quad. And then involuntary is something that functions without our control. So our heart, which is very important, and then anything in our internal organs. And then our fast and slow twitch fibers. So fast twitch is your type 2, and that is going to be your high force production and your quick fatigue. So that's something like, let's say you decide to sprint 10 yards, or not, well, it's kind of, anyway. You decide to sprint for like a little bit of time, and that's going to be your fast twitch fibers. And then slow twitch is type 1, that's your low force production and slow to fatigue. So a runner or long distance swimming, stuff like that. But now that we understand the basic principles, we're going to put it into action by implementing our knowledge and creating weight training programs. So before we start with a partner, let's go over this question. What do we know about weight training and why is it important? So with a partner next to you, talk about that for like a minute, 30 seconds, and then your partner, one of you guys is going to come up here and write it on the board. So go ahead. Go ahead. Just make something up. Here you go. You ready? I mean, whenever you have your answer. You don't have to go now. Yeah, just come right on the board right here. Yeah, mainly why is it important, but you can also write about what you know. Good answer. Wait, what should I put? It's J-O-O. No, juice side. Physically aesthetic. Good. Karen, where'd you get that marker?
Yo.
My bag.
Good.
Oh, I saw you walk over there. That's okay.
Pizza.
Is Drew the last person? Has everybody gotten a partner up here? All right, good job, guys. So I like your answers. Self-esteem, yeah. Strength is muscles, bones. That's pretty important, especially as we grow older. Our bones are going to get weaker. Basic strength training. Everything's easier. Love that one. Like a Dorito. Yeah, pretty great. So now that I'm going to do it later. Now that we understand the value, let's talk about how to do it. So let's go some definitions. We're going to have muscular endurance, muscular strength, muscular hypertrophy, and muscular power. So some of these words are probably pretty familiar, but we're going to define them anyway. So muscular endurance is how many times you can lift a weight or maintain an activity before exhaustion. And then strength would be the amount of force you can put out. And hypertrophy is the mass or size of your muscle. And muscular power is a large amount of exerted force over a short period of time. So for example, muscular endurance, some athletes that would be within these categories is distance runner for endurance. For strength, maybe like a wrestler or something like that. Hypertrophy, bodybuilders, that's pretty obvious. And then for power, maybe like a lineman in a football team or Duncan, for example, would be a great example. All right, so, and then we have some common questions that probably arise when you're going to create a weight training program. So how many sets should I do? How many reps should I do? How heavy should I go? And do I need to rest in between my sets? And the simple answer is it depends on your goal. So we'll go into those goals now. If your goal is endurance, you're going to be doing at least 12 reps in 2 to 3 sets. And you're going to be lifting less than 60% of your 1 rep max. So you're lifting pretty light. And then you're going to be resting for about 30 to 60 seconds in between each set. But you're lifting heavy enough to tire yourself out after 12, at least 12 reps, but light enough to be able to complete 12 reps. And because endurance is the goal, you want to keep the resting period brief. So if muscular strength is your goal, then you're going to do at least 6 repetitions, 2 to 6 sets, and you're going to be lifting at least 85% of your 1 RM and resting for 2 to 5 minutes between each set. So this is also a good way to, like, if you don't want to get big, but you just want to get stronger, this is kind of what you're aiming towards instead of hypertrophy. For hypertrophy, you're doing 6 to 12 reps, 3 to 6 sets, lifting about 67 to 85% of your 1 rep max, and resting for about 30 to 90 seconds. So this is pretty much all your gym rats, the gym bros in there, they're going for this typically. Muscular power, all right. So 3 to 5 reps, 3 to 5 sets, lifting about 75 to 85% of your 1 rep max, and you're resting for 2 to 5 minutes. This is also a really good way to get stronger without necessarily wanting to get bigger. So a lot of my ladies out there, I know we don't like to get big necessarily, so this is a good way to get stronger. Any questions so far? Everyone got all the notes down? Okay. So now we're going to do an application activity. I'm going to break you guys up into 4 groups, and you're each going to be given a little sheet with a scenario on it, and it's going to give you some information, but this is an example. So Joey has been putting in the work at the gym and feels he is much stronger than when he started. Now he wants to build his muscle mass so he can be one of the biggest guys in the room. Felt that one. If his 1 RM for bench is 250 pounds, how should he train on bench to increase his muscle mass? So it's hypertrophy because he wants to get bigger, correct? All right. So for hypertrophy, you're doing about 3 to 6 sets, so we want him to do 4. We're going to go easy on him. 6 to 12 reps, so we're going to have him at 8 reps. And then his max is 250, so we're going to put him at 200 with a 60-second rest in between. We're going to go lighter on the rest side, so that way, because he's not lifting quite that heavy. So let's do, you guys can be a group right here. And then you guys can be a group all together. And then over here, let's do you 3 right here, and then you 3 in the back. So go ahead and read your scenario with each other, talk about it, and then we're going to discuss it afterwards.
Sally is 22 years old. She just graduated college.
Which one did you get?
We got Sally.
Nice.
Arnold Schwarzenegger for some advice.
Which one did you guys get?
The baseball gym.
Nice. Which scenario did you guys get?
Bob.
Nice. Go, Bob. What are you guys thinking?
So she got about 170, 175, right?
For hypertrophy? Hypertrophy, she should be at like 155, 160 for like 6 to 12.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Good point,
But I
right?
don't have the math in my head to do it correctly. So.
I like the discussion going on. All right, does everybody have roughly an idea about what they are going to do with their scenario? All right, listen up, please. We're going to have Garrett's group go first, so please read your scenario and then tell us what you guys talked about. Go ahead.
Sally is a 23-year-old. She just graduated college and retired from her collegiate volleyball career. In college, she was trained mainly as a power athlete, but now she wants to maintain her strength and build some muscle mass. How should she adjust some of her exercises listed below to shift the focus of her fitness? So her back squat is 185 pounds, and you're going to want to be doing hypertrophy with that, so the 150, 150 pound range, 60-ish, and you want to hit 6 to 12 reps, and you want to do it 3 to 6
Nice. Any other thoughts or comments? No? You guys are good. All right, Caroline's group, go ahead and read your scenario.
Sandra is a senior in high school. One day when she got home from school, she went to open a fresh jar of salsa to enjoy some chips. However, Sandra isn't strong enough to open the jar and nobody else is home to help her. She is crushed. Sandra decides she's tired of not being strong enough to open her own jars. She calls her friend Arnold Schwarzenegger for some advice. Arnold tells her that before anything else, she must go to the gym and find her 1 rep max for a couple of exercises. Given Sandra's 1 rep max and fell below, what would you advise her to do next? And her bench is a 25-pound rep max. So we said that since the bar is 45 pounds, she should get some dumbbells.
Yeah.
Maybe like 7.5 pounds in each. She just rep it out. And then for the squat, 45-pound rep max. So she could either just do her maximum with just the bar, or she can grab maybe like a kettlebell or something and use the squat.
Nice. Yeah, very good.
And we said as well as she should eat a little bit more when her family is home, so they can open stuff. She should maybe get some stress balls as well to work on her grip strength.
Very good. All right, Randy, go ahead. Or whoever's going to read it.
Jim plays on his high school baseball team. Jim decides he's tired of being the only guy on the team who hasn't hit a home run. Jim knows that to hit the ball further, he must have more power in his swing. Jim sends you, the high school training coach, an email for some training advice. Given Jim's 1 rep max on bench and squat, how should he train? He's got a 125 on bench and 250 on squat. So we said 90 pounds bench, 4 sets, 5 reps, 3-minute rest, and then 200 pounds squat, 4 sets, 5 reps, 3 minutes.
Nice. Very good. All right. Philip, go ahead.
Bob is a junior in high school. He has run sprints in track since middle school. This year, his coach needs him to switch and run long distance. Bob wants to start training ahead of time to prepare his body for the switch from mostly power athlete to an endurance athlete. Given his 1 rep max for the exercises listed below, how should he train? So his split squat is 150 pounds, and his trap bar deadlift is 130 pounds. So with the split squat, you're going to want to do 12 reps, just only a few sets really, with minimal rest, and about probably 100-pound range. And then for deadlift, we'll want to do about the same type of thing with the reps and sets, about 12 plus, and about a few sets with minimal rest at about the 85, 90-pound range.
Nice. Very good, guys. Okay, so supposedly this is an example of Steph Curry's workouts on a Monday. I don't know if it's actually true, but I'm going to trust the source that gave it to me. So as you can see here, the top 4 of them roughly, they're all very high in their reps, so he's obviously focusing on endurance, which you run a lot in basketball. Shane could tell us that, so that's important. It's got caught off on the bottom here, but he's working more on strength, so that's just a little bit more of a practical application. Thanks, Steph. And so now we have a theater activity. So, anyone want to volunteer? Caroline? Yeah, you can just come up. Chase, get up here. Okay, so
Heights Elementary School for the win.
you're Logan and you're Jamie. So the scenario is Logan and Jamie are high school besties. They both decide that they want to start going to the gym to lift weights to keep their muscles strong and healthy. Logan is enrolled in the upperclassmen PE elective, but Jamie is not. Go ahead.
Hey Jamie, my bestie, I've been learning more about how important it is to keep our muscles and bones healthy in my PE class. I decided I want to start going to the gym. You want to join me?
Logan, I've been thinking more lately about how I want to feel confident in my own skin, so I'm so down.
Jamie, you're already a rock star in my mind, but going to the gym will create lifelong healthy habits. Let's do this. Do you have any goals in mind?
Oh, I definitely want to get stronger. As of late, my 11-year-old brother is the designated jar opener instead of me.
Yeah, been there. I think I also want to work on my muscle mass too. You know, I can flex in the mirror and impress people.
Oh, yeah, okay. But how do we obtain these incredibly awesome goals?
I actually just learned this in my PE class. To get stronger, we need to do about 2 to 6 sets with at least 6 reps, about 80% of our 1 rep max, within 2 to 5 minutes of rest in between each set.
Wow, you are very smart, bestie.
Thanks, pal. And for bigger muscles, we should do 3 to 6 sets with 6 to 12 reps, about 70 to 80% of our 1 rep max, with 30 to 90 seconds of rest.
When do we start?
Let's go to the gym 3 times a week, starting tomorrow. We'll get our 1 rep max and go from there.
Great job, guys. Clap it up.
Yeah.
Clap it up for Logan and Jamie. Good job. All right, we don't have really time for the interview or the review game we were going to play. We're going to play hot seat. So sorry, we don't have time. But basically, to review, let's go from a couple lessons back. So we have voluntary, involuntary muscles. Can anyone give me an example? Voluntary would be like your bicep. Involuntary would be... Yeah, great example. And then fast twitch, slow twitch. Fast twitch is high force and quick fatigue. Slow twitch is your low force and slow fatigue. So, biblical integration. 1 Samuel 16:7, but the Lord said to Samuel, do not look at his appearance or at his physical stature, because I have refused him. But the Lord does not see as man sees. For man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. So, train your body to be healthy and honor God, but don't get too caught up in how you look when you should be worried about the posture of your heart. Because the truth is that we don't know how much longer we're going to be here, so don't let appearance distract you or others. That's it.